This is my favorite live stream of the year. I am so glad we finally made it to the holidays. It is Festivus leading right into Christmas. And I always start off this live stream kind of thinking back and looking back at the channel and everything. But this time I'm going to start with something else because we got a lot to celebrate and I got a lot of news to share with you. And we'll have some guests coming in to this live stream throughout the show. So hope you stick around through the end of it. And if not, you can come back and watch those. We're going to do interviews. We're going to do some hot takes. I'm going to do some hot takes myself, and then I'll have some of my guests do the hot takes as well. But first things first, we got to start with a little eggnog. Eggnog is one of those things that I only have it around this time of year. And actually right now, my wife is up there actually blending up eggnog milkshakes for her and my son. But I'm just going to stick to regular eggnog because first thing to celebrate. Now, I know you guys probably subscribe because you love the amazing food that we feature on the channel here. And I'm all about enjoyment. But the last few months for me have been a little bit of sacrifice. And I'll tell you a little bit about it. I've been kind of modified diet and trying to do some stuff where I need to lose a little weight, need to get the blood sugar down, and got my blood sugar tested last week. We took the A1C. The originally was above 10. This was in 2022. But about a year ago, it was 8.1, and we're down to 5.8. So, guys, I'm going to enjoy some premium eggnog. And I got my trusty moose mug, which comes out for only this stream. So we're going to have a little. We're not going to go too crazy because we don't want to end up spiraling right back into the situation we were in before. But we're going to enjoy the holidays a little. That's kind of what we do here. And I enjoy the holidays. I enjoy you. James, I enjoy you. Good afternoon. Thanks so much for being here. Larry, Merry Christmas, eggnog. Some people love, others barf at the thought of it. I get it. I'm not going to barf. I only drink it once a year. So, although this company, Stewart's, makes it year round. So cheers. That is good. Now, I will say I'm probably not going to be drinking a ton of this because it is very heavy. And I actually had a pretty heavy dinner just a little while ago. And it looks like my buddy from high school, Greg Eckert, is here. Happy Festivus. It's a Festivus for the rest of us. December 23rd is really the kickoff of the holidays for me. It's the official day of Festivus from Seinfeld. And Festivus for the rest of us, eggnog. We got everything. And so the other thing we have to celebrate here, I got a job. Those of you who have been following my live streams at least since August, I got laid off back in May, and I've been really looking for a job since then. And I've been doing more live streaming. So I got a job, and the great news about it is it's really close to one of my favorite hot dog stands. And looks like we have somebody else in the house here. I don't want to butcher the name. New subscriber. Thanks so much for stopping by. But I have to share with you what I had for dinner before this heavy eggnog, and that is my favorite hot dog Charlie. So this is a local style hot dog that we have here. Mini hot dogs with a Greek meat sauce on top. They are so good. And I always got to get onion rings on the side with it. Now there's a difference between the ones on the left and the ones in the front there. These that are going to come into focus right now are actually not spicy. The ones in the back are spicy. So yeah, amazing. Absolutely amazing. I had to stop at Hot Dog Charlie's on the way home. And it looks like we have BJ in the house. BJ, you'll see later on the stream here. He's actually going to join us for a little interview portion for some hot takes. Holding out on the hot dogs. We actually talked on the radio back in, I think it was back in June and July, or July and August. We had to do it a couple of times, and we'll talk a little bit about that. Now, Home Rapid Repair, these are actually not chili dogs. They might look like chili dogs, but when you go to these places that are in this area, they adamantly tell you this is not chili. It's kind of a watery meat sauce that is, it's really hard to describe. But if you look here, you can kind of see that there's like this dryish looking meat on top, and then kind of a little bit of a sauce. It's so difficult to describe without actually showing you what the sauce looks like. And yeah, amazing. And you know what else is amazing, Larry? Your super chat for $10. I have a little bit of what do you call here? A goal for 10 above $10 super chats, and I'll do 3 live streams between now and New Year's Eve, and this one not counting, obviously, of course. Cyrax, nice to see you here. Merry Christmas. And James, yes, I agree. It is so cool to see so many people in the chat. That's why I love this live stream. It's kind of hard to gauge whether or not a lot of people are going to come into the stream or not. But I figure in this case here, I could just, go live for a little while, kind of relax, not really have to worry about anything. Have a little sip of eggnog here and there within my little moose mug that only comes out one time a year. And just enjoy the holidays. So, Wenda Sprunky, hi, nice to see you here. So let's talk. Let's actually do some hot takes. Who wants to do some hot takes? I only play this game for this, and I think it's fun. What I'm going to do. We're going to skip anything religious or political. I don't want to get into any of that. I'm not trying to insult anybody, and we're here to escape the everyday modern world, because we talk about food on this channel and it's not really anything terribly serious. And I have a big stack of these cards, and what I'm going to do is, because last year we got some pretty crazy ones, I'm going to cut in the middle of the deck. I'm going to pick one straight up, and I'll have you guys read it first. It's unmanly to cry. Now that's the hot take. I'm going to disagree with that. I think it's important to share your emotions, no matter what. If you have to cry, who cares if it's manly or unmanly? Just cry. I mean, you got to do it. I've had a couple cries this year. This year panned out really well for me. I landed a job, which was one of those things where I don't know what would have happened if not. I was literally up to my last week of New York State unemployment payments when the day I started. So it was kind of amazing that the timing worked out the way it did. And we do have a guest coming up at around 8:00. I'm really excited to have her on as well. It's going to be a lot of fun. She'll bring a little bit of energy. I have my own energy, but she's got her own energy too. Looks like we have Larry and remember the game from last year, dump all the yeah, I don't even want to say those names on the stream, to be honest. All right. Cut around the middle. Hot take. Growing up in the suburbs is better than growing up in the city. Now, I have an interesting history, because I was born in the city in Brooklyn. We lived in Brooklyn until I was about 6 or 7 years old, and then we moved upstate to kind of a suburb in Middletown, New York. Definitely a lot more of a it's very rural. In fact, the school I went to in high school, one of the kids threw one of the really popular kids in school threw an all weekend festival at his parents' farm, and he called it livestock, like Woodstock. But is growing up in the suburbs better than growing up in the city? Honestly, I'm not the right person to answer that. And I know that's the whole point of hot takes, is that I'm supposed to, but from my experience, I liked growing up in the suburbs. I couldn't imagine actually doing middle school and high school and everything in the city. But people make it work. And I think you can make it work in any case. So Greg, I know him. Who's him? Me? You know me. I know you. All right. We'll do another one of these. Take from the middle. Playing too many video games will make you dumber. This I am vehemently opposed to. In fact, I haven't played video games too much over the past few years. Really, I've kind of given it up, but I'm getting back into it. I got the new Call of Duty Black Ops 6. I had a little problem with my hand that made me have to pause on that for a little bit, but we're coming back. It's doing a little bit better. So I actually think playing video games makes you smarter. That's because I played video games a lot. Oh yeah, that's right, Greg. Greg knows the guy who threw the livestock party. What was his name? Miedema? Was it the Miedemas? I don't remember. Anyway, Vito, do I want to hear a joke? No, I don't want to hear a joke. All right. Sip eggnog. It was Meetema. I knew it. The names. I'm really bad with names, but I remember things like that. It's kind of crazy. All right, next hot take from the middle. It's okay to steal from big corporations. It is not okay to steal from anybody. And there's a lot going on in the news right now in terms of things that happened with CEOs and really unfortunate things. And I don't agree anybody should steal from anybody or take anybody's life or anything like that. Not to get dark on this stream, but we have to talk about reality because it is a world out there. Oli up. Oli up. All right. Christmas traditions. One of the things that I like to uphold, I actually only this year realized how much I really love Christmas. One of the things that I want to talk about is things that get you in the holiday spirit. There's one thing in particular for me that is kind of a non-negotiable that I have to do every year, and it's watch a handful of movies. And I've talked about this in the past, and if there's a few members only videos where I actually have done a little bit more of this kind of like deep dive into pop culture. So here are the movies that I have to watch every year for Christmas. One is Scrooged, Bill Murray. It's an absolute classic. And for me, that whole redemption story, Christmas Carol, Charles Dickens, Scrooge, that to me is like the ultimate Christmas story. Then there's A Christmas Story, which Larry in the chat shares as well. I just actually watched that with my son yesterday for the first time, and we have Ralphie on the shirt here. My son loved the movie. He's 8 years old, and we never watched it together, but we watched it yesterday, and it was kind of fun. National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, and that'll be the shirt for tomorrow. That'll be a good one. James, got to have the full-size lamp from Christmas Story. I actually think next year I might get it. I am not making anybody a mod in the chat, so thanks for asking, but I hope you hang out and have a good time here. Powder Peaks. What are some others? Home Alone 1 and Home Alone 2 definitely are ones that I like to watch. I wouldn't call those essential. I honestly, I get a little bit upset with Home Alone 2 when the family actually shows up. They finally catch back up with Kevin, and they're in they're in the hotel, and they start opening up gifts, and Kevin sneaks away and nobody notices. He goes into Central Park and do that. Greg's asking, does Elf make the cut? Elf does not make the cut anymore. It used to be on my essentials list. This year, my wife snuck it in. She actually bought tickets they had a screening of Elf at our local movie theater, and for one of Noah's Advent gifts, she got us tickets to go see Elf together at the movie theater. And it was fun. They had popcorn and candy, and it was a good time. But the reason I don't like Elf, and I've talked about this on the channel before, and I think you're trying to push my buttons, Greg, if not, I know you any better. The reason I don't like Elf is because it's like a bunch of skits, and Christmas Story kind of has the same thing, except Christmas Story is a little bit more slice of life. Whereas Elf is like, it's a bunch of skits leading up to the last 22 minutes, which is the conflict of the movie about how Santa's sleigh is not, it crashes and it doesn't have enough Christmas spirit, and they had to, gather all that. That's kind of my problem with Elf. It's a heartwarming story, and I still get a kick out of some of the gags in Elf, but it's not one that I have to watch every year. But the ones I have to watch every year are Scrooge, Christmas Story, Christmas Vacation, definitely, Home Alone. I'm not a diehard as a Christmas movie kind of person. I don't disagree that it's a Christmas movie. I just think the amount of energy that people spend on the internet debating that it is a Christmas movie, it's a little weird. If you're going to admit that Die Hard is a Christmas movie, you have to admit that Eyes Wide Shut is just as much a Christmas movie. In fact, probably the ultimate Christmas movie, given that Christmas trees are in every single scene, except for the scene everybody talks about. All right, hot takes. Celebrities shouldn't be allowed to run for public office. All right. So I know we said we were not going to talk about politics, but I think this is probably true. Um, we definitely don't really we I don't want to see The Rock as president. All right. Let's just put that out there now. I'm a big wrestling fan, big fan of Dwayne Johnson, what he's done. Um, and I just don't need to see The Rock as president. Will it happen? Probably, but PE, totally agree. Probably about Elf, I would imagine. Um, and you rizzed up his grammar. That's funny. Greg in the chat, Christmas Chronicles is sneaky, decent Christmas movie. I've never seen that one. Is that the one with Kurt Russell, where he looks like yeah. Yeah, he's got the he's Santed out in that one. Larry in the chat, the diehard Christmas weirdos on the internet are just trolling for attention. I don't know if that's what it is. I just think people on the internet just like to have an opinion, And I think it's funny when they make the diehard. There's a Christmas ornament where he's coming out of the HVAC. Kind of funny. The Gremlins is a Christmas movie. Yes, absolutely. Can't argue that. Holiday traditions. Now, the big holiday in my family is Christmas Eve. When I say my family, I mean my family with my parents. Our tradition always was to celebrate Christmas Eve. It's something I hope we can do going forward, but my new job after this year might throw a wrench into that, but we'll see. But my parents do the seven fishes. It never was actually like formalized as the Feast of the Seven Fishes. It was more my dad just got a whole bunch of seafood and my mom would fry it or make it into like a pasta and something like that. It was never like we have to have exactly seven. The ones that we have, and when I say we, I mean everybody but me, because I don't really enjoy those preparations. But we do the Feast of the Seven Fishes, and it's mostly fried. There's fried calamari, fried shrimp, fried bacala, which is like a dried fish that they rehydrate. There's an eel they make fried, and then my mom usually makes like a shrimp scampi. At one point, I remember there being clams. But for me, like I always used to like bringing a little charcuterie, salamis. I used to get like a duck prosciutto, which was really really good. Um, cheeses, and now my wife kind of took over that tradition. She gets a whole smorgasbord of things that we put out. And I make these crostinis with little toasts with fresh ricotta cheese and fig jam that everybody seems to love. And that's kind of a fun. That's I love doing that. And when I was younger, my dad was a butcher. The boar's head guy used to give him hams and stuff, and he'd bring home a ham or a turkey, and we'd roast that, and I would eat that instead of all that stuff. And my mom makes all these different baked goods. She'll fry zappalis, which is my favorite thing. She makes these fig cookies that are like a giant fig Newton. These like donuts that we they're like Calabrese donuts, which is another really good thing. But totally incredible. Um, yeah, so that's my Christmas tradition. And the more recent years, we take that trip, downstate, and then when we get back up here, we'll get home. I'll pour myself a bourbon and sip bourbon, do little alternate sips, bourbon, eggnog, which I'm looking forward to. I had to cut drinking just to help with the health stuff. But we're doing good. It's the holidays, and it's time for another hot take. Let's do some more hot takes. All right. I'm talking a little fast, so I'm trying to catch my breath a little bit. the book is always better than the movie. I don't think that's true. I don't think the book is ever worse than the movie, or is it? I don't really do a lot. Like if I watch a movie, I watch a movie. If I read the book, I read the book. Um, I've always wanted to read The Shining and actually have it upstairs. I like Stephen King enough, and I love the Kubrick movie, and I know that they're vastly different, but I don't know. I think I disagree with the book is always better than the movie. I'm sure you could find examples where one is better than the other, and vice versa. I bet you the Twilight, the movies are probably better than the book. Never watched a minute of that, but it just seems like something that'd be a better visual, you know? So we do have a guest coming in about 10 minutes, a little bit less than 10 minutes, hopefully. Another hot take. Being rich makes you attractive. All right. So here's a good question. Is that true? I know plenty of not attractive people who are rich. And the example I'll give you is Elon Musk. I don't think many people could argue that Elon Musk is attractive. So I think that proves this is false. That's what I think. All right. We'll do another. I'll cut this and we'll do the one in the middle here. Cats are smarter than dogs. I think that's probably true, and that's probably why I'm more of a dog person. I don't think I could outsmart a cat, but I definitely can outsmart dogs, or at least dogs make me feel like I can outsmart them. I guess that's an important distinction, right? And I have more cards in the box here. There's 2 stacks of cards in here, and we're not going to get through anywhere near the total of these, but it kind of makes for a fun interstitial moment. But I do want to get the whole stack out because that's my OCD is bothering me. And we'll take from this stack. We'll do one from here. How about that? And then we'll move this stack to the bottom of this stack. I know this is just riveting content, guys. Ice cream is overrated. So this is a good one. I think this is false. I think ice cream, there's a spot in the world for ice cream. Absolutely 100%. I think there are certain ice creams that are overrated. Soft serve is probably overrated. But does that really count as ice cream? That's kind of pre-ice cream, right? Soft serve would be what you make when you're before you actually put it in the freezer. That's kind of just, churned a little bit. I think I was telling my son, eggnog is kind of like a precursor to ice cream. It's just milk, cream, liquid sucrose. That's got to be good, right? Cane sugar, egg yolks. 7 Sky. Breyer's dark chocolate truffle. That sounds delicious. I'm going to try to look for that one once I got some room in the freezer. See, I like ice creams like that are like a little gourmet, but also a little trashy. Breyer's. Although Breyer's is a good brand, I think. All right. Time for some more hot takes. If you're just joining, this is the holiday live stream. We're relaxed, we're chill. We got some eggnog, we got some guests coming on, and we got some hot takes. Kids should get an allowance. This I agree with. I think it's important from a young age to kind of start to learn the values of, how much things cost and, how to work towards stuff. Because, and later in life, I can tell you that one of the challenges that I've had over the last few months, having limited income and just living off of my wife's income, which we're fortunate to have, is trying to keep up with the YouTube channel. There are so many costs that go behind having a YouTube channel and, the gear that you buy. And I've bought zero gear since we started, but using software to stream, like right now I'm using StreamYard, that actually went up in price. So that was kind of a decision. What do I do? I'm still working out that decision. I've kind of bought myself a month to try to, you know, give myself some time with that. But these are all things that you have to balance. And then also on top of that, like, finding money to actually make the content and things like that. So, Josh, what am I talking about? We're doing hot takes. So I'm talking about kids should get an allowance. And what I'm saying is I think it's important for, kids to understand the value of stuff and saving towards stuff and things like that. So I agree. I think that's a good one. I don't think that's really a hot take, but let's go to the next one. Okay. I saw presidents. I'm trashing that one. I love how these hot takes, like they go right for the jugular in terms of these topics that divide people immediately. Elderly people should be required to retake the driver's test. This is an interesting one. I don't know that I would just say elderly people. I think there should be some basic aptitude that people that at least tests. How do I want to say this? The problem isn't that people get old. The problem is that people get complacent when they start to drive. So elderly people just have a lot more going on. They're thinking about so many more different things. But, that's like, I actually watched a training video today where they showed you like a person at the day after they got their license and then a year after they got their license. And a year after they got their license, they have their coffee falling all over the place. They got their phone in their ear. They forget to buckle their seatbelt. It was a little bit of an extreme example, but definitely goes to kind of tell you exactly what the issue is there. It's not the fact that people are elderly. I mean, look at Dick Van Dyke. He's out there making dancing videos out on the internet there. And, there's that. But, people should have like an aptitude test, not like what and defensive driving. Don't get me started on that. I had to retake defensive driving. Well, take it twice, retake it one time because there was a problem and I made it to the last segment and it literally didn't register and I had to redo literally 6 hours worth of work. It pissed me off like you wouldn't believe. James in with the super chat. Merry Christmas, happy Hanukkah, happy holidays to you, James. Thank you so much for your support here. It means so much to me just to, even just interact without the monetary thing on top of it. So I do appreciate that. Thanks, James. Larry with a chat. Car insurance companies legally charge more if the driver is 25 or less. So they must have statistics to prove younger drivers may be worse than elderly. Yeah, I don't know the story there, but that's a good point. Don't disagree with you there. I think singling out elderly people here is kind of mean. Let's say that. What else did I want to talk to you guys about today? Because now I have a guest coming in just a minute. What am I excited about in the upcoming year? Well, we're going to have a whole live stream dedicated to New Year's and New Year's resolution. What I'm excited for next year is kind of the open world that is my content on the channel here. I think I've gotten a good handle on how to do things for YouTube in a way that makes me feel satisfied. So kind of extending that into topics and video ideas that I think you guys are going to really enjoy. That's kind of what I'm working on right now. And that's what I'm excited for the future. It's always been what I've been trying to do here in terms of everything for the channel. But definitely one of those things that I'm looking at pretty closely right now while I try to set some goals. My guest is having some trouble. So, hot take. There should be a maximum age. Okay, another one of these presents things. Some technical difficulties. This is what happens when I really want to bring on this guest, but it's not. She's having trouble. I need a producer. That's absolutely right, Greg. I do. I need mods. I need a producer. Um, all right. Hot take. This might not be happening, but we will have a guest at 8:30. We should stop doing daylight savings time. I agree. I think I got this question last year. I'm pretty sure I got that one last year. But yes, I do think we should stop daylight savings time. Doesn't help anybody. I don't know why I was just trying to do that on my phone. I could just do it right here on my computer. Oh man. Should have tested this out first. She said she's going to figure it out. Let's see. Let's see if she figures it out. All right, next hot take. Movies shouldn't be longer than 2 hours. All right. Now this one I do got a opinion on this one. When you got all these movies that are over 2 hours, it kind of takes away from this how special it is when a movie is not 2 hours. Like Godfather. Godfather is one of those things you put it on and it's a good time, right? You know, there's drama, there's everything you got going on. Even Marvel movies, like Endgame, like these movies, they have structure, pacing, all that stuff. But every movie doesn't have to be more than 2 hours. I think a good movie could target being between an hour 30 and 2:15. And I think you'd be fine with that. But I disagree with this blanket statement. I think it should definitely be there. The length should tell the story that you need to tell. And that's something I struggle with as a YouTuber as well, is trying to figure out what the right length to do stuff is. Sometimes my videos are 4 minutes, sometimes they're 12 minutes. I don't have a hard and fast rule on that. So yeah. All right. So bummed out about this guest didn't work. I think she's going to figure it out. Being famous makes your life harder. Absolutely 100% agree with that. I think even being like a public figure, even locally here, it definitely gets difficult. People get unruly, they dox you, they do a lot of stuff, and it gets harder and harder. Live streaming is stressful. I feel really bad because I know she really wanted to be on, and I really want her to be on. And I told her that you click the link and you come right in, and it didn't work. Lord of the Rings needs 3 hours each. I honestly, I couldn't make it through the first Lord of the Rings movie. I'm one of those people who has never seen Lord of the Rings. Diet culture is toxic. Ooh, this is a good one. Being that I pretty much skirt the line of diet culture, I can see what's toxic about it. And I also think that there's value there as long as you know how to navigate. I think when you listen to a lot of just bro science, um, that that gets a little bit toxic, and I think just really doesn't lend itself to a healthy way to lose weight. But I do think that um, the culture of diets, I think online community is definitely something that helps with setting goals and following through. Hope BJ doesn't have trouble getting in. All right. Looks like she's downloading the app, which I hate. I hate that you have to download apps. Oh, there she is. Haha. All right.
They thought they could just keep me out.
There you are.
They thought they could keep me out.
Every time I've ever had to click, it allows me to get in without the app. So I don't know what's going on your phone there.
And my phone is a player.
All right, so everybody, this is a very special guest. Her name is Gina. She's a good friend of mine. You can find her on Instagram at @originalgg. One of the most complicated Instagram handles out there. Look, you can give us a little intro to you, and you get into a little bit, and we'll do some hot takes.
Awesome. First of all, I want to thank you for having me because I'm a big fan of your macaroni chronicles and all your snack chronicles. So this is awesome. A little bit about me. I'm technical. I'm not good with technology apparently, but I model. I am an aspiring comedian, and I'm a mom. I guess those are like the basic things about me.
And what I love about following you and interacting with you is that, like, you're obviously like having a good time, just being on the internet, not really taking it seriously. And I think that to me is the most fun of our interactions.
Thank you.
So what I want to know from you, I'm going to close our DM session there. You got me
Yeah.
panicked, all
Me
flustered
too,
here.
yo. My cat was panicking too. She was nearby. I was like, I don't know what I'm doing, cat.
I'm glad we got to have you. You're like,
Yeah.
get BJ on first. I'm like, well, I already scheduled with him. I don't know what I'm gonna do with that.
I was like, I'm gonna figure this out, damn it. Even if I have to download yet another app.
I'm sorry. You could delete it as soon as we're done.
It's all good. It's all good. Oh, by the way, speaking of PJ, I peeked his story, and his microphone is way better than mine, yo. His he's showing off.
So he's a DJ for Q1057.
Yeah, he's a
So
show off. I
so
thought I was like cool coming in with a mic, with my little mic.
I mean, the thing is that the StreamYard is going to cut the quality anyway, so don't worry about it too much.
Right.
So tell me, the other day you messaged me and you told me that you went to the Puerto Rican bodega across the street and you got
Yeah.
sancocho.
Yeah.
All right. So for those of you who don't know, sancocho is a Puerto Rican stew. Sometimes it has meat, sometimes chicken, but it has like a squash, right?
A juca. Most of the times there's like a juca, which is a root,
Oh
like a
yeah.
root
So
potato. Yeah.
that one had like yuca in it.
Yep. This one has
Because
yuca.
the sancochos I've had always had like a squash calabaza in there,
Okay. Yep.
and I don't love that. But what I loved about that is like you were obviously pumped about it, so I want to hear about it.
It was good. It's not what I expected actually, because what I'm used to, there's corn. There's usually like a little piece of corn in it, just and more potato. But it was very good. I like their use of cilantro, and the broth was so.
Nice.
And it had plantain in it, and I'm not used to the plantain in it, so that was a delectable surprise.
There you go.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
if for those who don't know it, in upstate New York here, it's been super cold. So that's one of those like warming dishes.
That's why I got it. Food for the soul. It was a snowy day, and I was like, I need sancocho
Yep.
immediately.
I love
Ahora.
it.
And they
And so
delivered. So
you have some Hispanic Puerto Rican background.
yeah, Puerto Rican and Cuban.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean Cuban got nice, stewed meats as well.
Yeah, we have the ropa vieja.
That's right.
That's a big dish for us. Yeah.
Little white rice, a little ropa vieja, totally
Yeah.
amazing.
Avocado. Can't forget the aguacate.
What would be your perfect holiday meal?
Definitely rice and beans.
Okay. When you
I
say when you
Yeah, go
say
ahead.
rice and beans, you mean like rice and like red beans or rice and like pigeon peas like gandules?
No, see, I like the black beans. I like
Interesting.
black beans, yeah.
Okay.
Hmm.
Because we used to either have arroz con habichuelas or arroz con gandules.
Yeah, that sounds
That was
amazing.
always the thing.
Yep, yep.
Look, I want to get up a couple of these. Cilantro and coriander is exactly the same spice. Actually, Larry, cilantro is the leaves. Coriander is actually the seeds. That's how Americans, but British people actually call even the plant coriander. Pretty interesting. Cheers! You got some eggnog there,
Yeah, yeah.
Stewart's. Stewart's
No,
eggnog.
this is yeah. All right, I'm gonna show it a real quick peek. It was
Oh
a
wow.
gift.
Okay.
It was a
All
gift
right.
from work. All right, it's all off the screen.
Nice.
There we go.
That's
It
the
was a
good
gift
stuff.
from work, so I don't know. This is my first time trying it, so I wanted to try it with you, so you can get my like first reaction. This
All right.
is legitimate. Let's see how it goes. Let's see.
This is Gina's first time trying eggnog.
Oh, with the Evans one.
The
That's
Evans eggnog.
that's not bad. That's really not bad.
Is
It's
it
warm on the
boozy?
way down. Yeah, but not too boozy.
Okay.
That's what makes it good. Like you only taste it at the end.
Nice.
Hmm.
What I like to do, I was telling earlier, I like to do like a sip of eggnog and then a sip of bourbon. I like to do them separate,
Okay.
like a chaser.
Wow.
All right, ready for some hot takes?
Let's get it.
All right. So I'm gonna pull one and I'll put it up to the screen, and then we'll get your reaction.
All right, let's see. Our phone shouldn't be allowed to listen to us. You know, depends. It depends because if it's gonna pull, actually today that worked out for us because me and my daughter were looking something up and I forget what it is now, and it hurt us and it pulled it up the answer. So in some cases, yes. I mean,
Okay. What I hate is like when I'm talking about something and then I get an ad for it like 3 minutes later. That's weird. All right. Next one. You're muted. What happened? I still can't hear you. All right, I'll answer this one first. I don't think smoking should be allowed inside. I think I think we've made a lot of progress as a society in making
Yo, I
things not
wasn't
smell so gross. There she is.
I
All right,
wasn't
what do you
kidding when I
think?
said technology don't like me. Smoking inside, hell yeah.
You think
Hell
so?
yeah. Well, not cigarettes, but weed, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
It's cold out there. Cigarettes,
I
no.
think
You shouldn't be smoking cigarettes, period. Cigarettes, period. No cigarettes.
there you go. That's what I'm
Unless
saying.
it's blunts. Unless it's blunts.
Okay.
I stand on that. I stand on that.
So So I wanted to have you on here to bring kind of like a PG-13 that I just normally don't have on the channel.
I've been trying to be okay for you.
That's okay. No, it's all right. We're good. All right. Next one. Ready?
Yeah. All right. A corrupt government is better than no government. Get no way. No way. I trust my kid to run the shots better than the government. I don't like them.
All right. I mean, I think no matter what, they're crooked. No matter what it is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it always starts off with good intentions, but once you get a little money and Gucci, they go crazy.
Absolutely.
Crazy what Gucci can do to a person.
And this is my friend Larry, who has been a pretty solid fan, and he said something that's a fact. Blunts have never been mentioned on my stream before until now. So you were the first.
Yeah.
And Greg is saying he remembers when smoking sections in a restaurant, always the best tippers. Alcohol and smoke go hand in hand. That might be true.
Yeah, I was a shop girl, and everyone smoked in the restaurant, in the bar restaurant. Yeah, but I didn't like it. The cigarette.
It's gross. It's so gross.
Yeah.
All right, ready? Here's one. I know you're gonna have a strong opinion on this one.
Oh, how's it do with cops? All right. Yes. Yes.
I mean, some of these are no-brainers, right?
Yeah, that's easy. Okay. All right, I stand behind that one. Absolutely. And we need help too. Should be, yeah. And my cat should be covered on my health insurance, by the way. Her cat litter, her food, her everything, because
you don't have insurance for the cat?
I don't have insurance for my cat. I need to find out some insurances for cats that aren't crooked. I don't need crooked cat insurance.
I don't, and that's another one of those things. I think all insurance is crooked.
Horrible.
Here's an actual question, not a hot take. I was going through earlier talking about the holiday movies and traditions that I had. What's one holiday movie or special that you watch over and over?
I was hoping you were gonna ask this PG-13 question. I have many favorites. As a little girl, I remember the Chipmunks Christmas soundtrack. That soon as they start playing any Chipmunks Christmas music, I am 9 years old again, decorating my tree with my brothers, and my dad calling it a French whore because we put it all, the tinsel, all of it. Like, we go crazy with it. And as an adult, the Muppets Christmas Carol is my tradition. I watch it every single Christmas.
I haven't watched the Muppet one in a really long time. I grew out of the Muppets like pretty. I can't really stomach the Muppets much, honestly.
Not even Miss Piggy with the hi-ya.
No, I'm good with Muppet Babies, but not Muppets.
Muppet Babies was good. That was a good save. That was a good save, Jerry. Good save.
Yeah. Like Muppet Babies like was always my thing, like the cartoon, but not even the new cartoon, because Noah grew up kind of watching that. Definitely, yeah. But somebody called me out for not watching or not liking the Muppet Christmas Carol. So I guess I got to check it out again.
Yeah.
I have the Alvin and the Chipmunks, the TV show of the Christmas thing with the harmonica. You remember that?
Yep.
I watched that with my son a couple of years ago, and it was like it brings me back to like you said, being like 6-7 years old.
Yeah, and the hula hoop.
Yeah.
All I want's a hula hoop.
And so for those who don't follow, who should be following, I'll leave a link after the stream is over to your Instagram down below so people can check you out. But you do this car karaoke that is just like you always play the songs that are like on repeat in my car. I love it.
Oh man, it's so much fun. It's so much fun.
Greg's asking Emmett Otter's Jug Band Christmas. I don't even know what that is, man.
Me neither.
I couldn't tell you what that is. Gotta fix the setting here. There we go.
And Gremlins is a good one too.
We were talking about that, so I haven't watched that since the 80s, so I'm guilty.
Oh man, it's a good one.
All right, hot take time.
All right. Let's see it. 55 degrees is cold. Woo! Yeah. I have my right now my thermostat's at 72, so yeah.
72?
Hell yeah. Yeah.
Like okay, is that because it's extra cold, or is that what you normally keep
Yeah.
it?
I live on the river and I'm always feeling the breezes.
Okay.
Yeah, so I just keep it warm and toasty, you know, safe. I'm safe. I'm safe from the cold.
It never gets above 70 here until the summer, and we keep it at 72 with air conditioning, 66 to 68 with heat.
Okay.
So
There you go.
all right, next one.
Psychics and medium. Hell yeah. Yup.
Do you have any stories you could tell us?
I've had many premonitions myself, actually.
Oh yeah?
I've had some pretty gnarly shit. So when I was a little girl, we lived in Brooklyn. And I think you'll appreciate this when I say this. I was watching Razor Ramon's promo to Bret Hart. They were gonna wrestle. So remember
Okay.
he was by the water fountain and he was talking his shit. He was like, you know what I mean? He was the bad guy.
Okay.
The bad guy, right? So we're watching the promo of him talking to Bret Hart, challenging him. And at that time, we had birds, me and my brothers, and we would cover the bird's cage with a pillowcase so it's nice and dark so it could sleep. And I was watching the television when I heard a voice tell me that my bird was dead. And I looked at my brothers and I said, "Did y'all hear that?" None of them heard it. And I heard it again for a second time. I go to check over, take the pillowcase. My bird was dead.
Wow.
It was dead. It was dead. And I not once but twice did I hear that voice. And that's just one of them. I dreamt about my brother, my daughter's brother before he was born. Like, so I've had some weird premonitions. So yes, I believe in that stuff.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah, I haven't had any stories like that. I do think that there probably are people who have those kinds of visions and
Visions, yeah.
stuff like that. To date, I haven't. So
Yeah.
yeah. All right. Ready for the next one?
Let's get it. Okay, the one who asked the other one on a date should pay. If you're a man, you should pay.
Why?
Because the man's supposed to ask anyway, and that's just what the man be doing. I mean, it's nice when a girl do it, and it's nice, but like if on the first date you don't pay, that I'm out. On the second date, third date, I wouldn't mind, but the first date, that's an interview. That's an interview.
Would you offer?
Would I offer on the first date? No, not on the first date.
No.
No, not on the first. If I don't like you, I will.
Okay.
If I don't like you, I will.
Interesting.
I'm just sorry. That's just how I roll.
All right.
God bless you all. God bless.
Okay.
You all.
I mean, I don't know that I would actually. I do have to stop for a quick second. We have Larry with another super chat. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate that, Larry. I don't know what 4-letter word. Oh, maybe she said a 4-letter word.
Did I say a 4-letter duck?
I don't know.
Oh snap!
Somebody's asking, do we like butter chicken? Of course.
Yeah, I like
What's not to like? Of course.
Yeah.
What's not to like?
Hell yeah!
All right.
Over some
Ready
rice.
for the next one?
Yep. Okay, I'd rather live without TV. Yeah, I'd rather live without TV than music. I need music. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I think I'm with you on that one.
Yeah.
Although I consume a lot of both. I don't listen to music as much as I'd like to.
Okay.
So.
We got well when you get on
All
my
right.
page, you'll be listening to the music because I'll sing it to you. I'll sing it to you.
Of course, yeah. But the funny thing, so going back to that, the funny thing is you don't just sing it, you have an entertainment like to it. You know what I mean? you put
I like
your
to
soul
improvise. I'm remixing for you guys.
All right, I got I'm pulling up another question for you that's not a hot take.
Let's get it.
What's the most memorable gift you've ever gotten for Christmas?
Oh, snap. That's a great question. The most memorable gift. Shoot. Must not be that memorable if I can't remember off the top of my head. I think a camera was one of them because it was one of my first legit like Canon cameras. And it was a big deal for me. So
Awesome.
Yeah.
I remember when I was 5, my parents got me the Thundercats lair.
Oh wow.
And that was when we moved upstate, that didn't come along. I don't know what happened to it, but that was definitely a memorable gift.
That's awesome.
Somebody wants to know, Gina, why is the auntie dressed like a teenager?
Why am I dressed like a teenager? I didn't know this was just like a teenager. This is how I dress all the time. This is my.
There you go. Yeah, I think you got a compliment there.
Oh, okay, thank you. Yeah, I'm just showing you guys how I really am. You know, I do this and I do glam, but this is me.
Yeah,
this is me, all natural.
We like you for who you are, Gina. All right. Right. Let's do another hot take. Here we go.
All right. I trade 5 years of my life if it meant becoming extreme. Oh, come on. More attractive? How about better at math? I trade 5 years to be better at math. I would.
So are you saying you're sufficiently attractive?
I think I'm sufficiently attractive. Anymore, it's dangerous.
There you go.
Anymore is dangerous. It shouldn't be that dangerous. It's approach with caution.
That was a funny one for you to get because I knew you would have gotten upset at that one a little. You know this game is supposed to start fights, right?
Is it? Oh,
yeah,
man.
like because you're supposed to be doing this with people and there's scorecards and you're supposed to disagree on these things.
Are you disagreeing with me? You've disagreed with a couple of things.
What was I'd trade 5 years of my life if it meant becoming extremely attractive? No, I don't think there's anything special about attractive dudes.
No, I don't like them. I need to date like a 7. Or if they're prettier than me, they can't.
I don't even bother rating other people just because my ratings are going to be so far off. I don't even rate food, honestly. Like I'll usually say whether I like it or I don't like it, but like I won't rate things. You know?
That's a hard one. Yeah, that's a hard one. But if I had to put a number on it, like I don't even know how else to level, like a green. And if we have to talk colors, like red is hot.
Yeah.
And like green, maybe. Yeah. So, because then they're too pretty.
Here we go. This one, I know this is probably going to be your last one because I know you're going to go off on this one. But all
right, let's fight, yo. I'm ready to fight. Let's see. Men have it easier than women. They get played more though. Y'all get more no's than yeses when it comes to love though. So I do feel bad for y'all in that situation. Okay. As far as like business wise and money wise, yeah, and like I guess maybe parenting wise, yeah. I mean,
I think that's
the kid and breastfeed and I
think 100% men have it easier.
Yeah.
As a man, I could say that.
Yeah. Yeah. Except for when it comes to love. I would say.
What do you mean?
Maybe when it doesn't come, like when it comes to love, y'all don't have it easy. No. I've seen too many fall. I know. Y'all don't have it easy. At least when I'm around.
Explain. What do you mean you've seen them fall?
They think they have it all. Like, even if you have a lot of money, like, because you know how I am. I'm like, we won't even go into that. But even if they have a lot of money, doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to find love or that they're fun or attractive or, you know what I mean? So, and that's like an easy way to find love is if you got money. And if you're a really attractive man, it's easy to find. Maybe, but then girls will get annoyed if you're too pretty.
True.
It's just like then you're more feminine and you're just like, you're not stepping into the man roles. Like, why are you taking my mascara when you should be taking out the trash? Robert. You know what I mean?
That's
Lay
funny.
off. So y'all, yeah, y'all.
Oh, BJ's here.
Woo!
You're gonna tell B.
Yeah,
I'll add BJ in right now.
Oh, you see, look
there
at him with his microphone. Look at him.
BJ.
Am I on?
Yeah.
It's all on? Oh, hey.
Hi, look at you with your
muted,
microphone,
man.
yo.
There you are. You're on now.
All right.
Yeah, man. You outdoing me with the microphone and stuff.
This is just the microphone that I use.
What the hell? Let me show you my microphone. I thought I was cool. I was like,
Oh, you got a lapel microphone, though. Lapel microphones are cool. I don't have one of those. I don't have a lapel microphone. That's cool.
I had to turn it off because it wasn't working.
That's like showbiz, though. That's showbiz quality right there.
Yeah. I got mic'd up. I worked in a couple of sets and they're like, mic up.
Exactly.
Mic
yeah, you
up.
got set up. Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
set up, mic up. I was like, mic check. Yeah.
All right, Gina. Well, thank you so much for joining us. I had a lot of fun playing and having you on.
This was fun. Sorry about the technical difficulties. It's not me.
No, it's not your
internet.
fault. It's StreamYard.
It's not me ever. It's the
Not
internet.
you.
And don't
Don't
forget
worry
that.
about it.
All right, bye guys. Have fun. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
All right, bye.
Mr. BJ.
There she goes. That's fun. There was technical difficulties?
She was having trouble getting in. The link didn't bring her right in.
Oh.
I think that there's something with Safari. Like, I don't know iPhones that much, but anyway, she was she came in and she spent a whole minute talking about how you had a professional mic she saw on your Instagram story.
This is just a mic. This I would use it for podcasting, and I would use it if I needed to record anything at home for the radio and stuff like that. It's just a mic.
Yeah. So BJ, just to give a quick intro, and then I'll throw it over to you to give more of an intro. You and I have got to know each other over the past 5 or 6 years. We're both kind of local personalities. You're actually on the radio, and you had me on the radio twice. Well, once technically this summer.
Once, yeah.
But you're on Classic Rock Radio, so I want to welcome you to the stream. This is BJ. BJ, you can give a quick intro to yourself, and then we'll get into a little bit of the discussion here.
Yeah, sure. So my name is BJ. I am the midday host on Q105.7 in Albany, New York. And I like to talk all things local all the time. It's a lot of fun. That's how I connected with Jerry. Him and I both have a tremendous love of food, particularly Italian subs. And we've bonded over that. And it's a lot of fun. But yeah, no, I've been working in radio for a long time, and it's just a lot of fun interacting with people from all walks of life and everything like that. So yeah, it's pretty cool.
I agree. That's what I love about the local community is that like everybody has their interest in the stuff they're into, and you sometimes just kind of rub shoulders, and that's how you get to know people.
Yeah. So
on the subject of Italian subs, have you had any recently, and are there any that I need to check out that I haven't already?
Recently, I had one that I hadn't had in a while. Okay. And this is a chain. Now I'm going to give you 2. Okay. So the first one I had was a chain. All right. It was Jersey Mike's, and I don't know how you feel about Jersey Mike's or not. But I liked it. I thought it was pretty good. In a pinch, Jersey Mike's is pretty awesome if you don't have like a deli that's slicing meat right in front of you and stuff. But also
they are though.
Oh no, I know, that's what I mean. If you don't have a place that is slicing it first, like if you're getting like, sometimes places have their pre-cut meat and it's a little too thick. I think that Jersey Mike's does a good job of giving you thinly sliced meat, and I like that. Bread could be a little bit fresher. I'm just saying, Jersey Mike's, you got Danny DeVito in the commercials. You could pay a little bit more for the bread product. I'm just saying, but it's not bad overall. But I live right near Raganese in Albany, and that place is legit. It's an Italian import store. And I mean, they just make a killer sandwich, whether it's an Italian sub or if it's anything. I mean, you just go in there and it's delicious. You want to eat the whole store. So,
You actually teed me up for two things there. Number one, Jersey Mike's was one of the videos that I did. Actually, I think it might have been the first or second video I published this year. So I did try their sub. I do like their subs. I think they're expensive for what it is.
I agree.
And I also the one thing I talked about a lot in the video is I don't understand their system of they make everything, they actually make it upside down, in my opinion, where the toppings are on top and most of it falls off onto the side. And then they do this thing where they squeegee the little thing there. It's a really odd thing that they do. They waste a lot of stuff that way.
It's a ton of food waste. Yeah, they just scrape it all off. I mean, it's nice and clean for the next sub to come through, but they waste a ton of product in the thing. And I like, you know what I do like about Jersey Mike's though, is they make it sloppy. I like that they make it sloppy. I want to be messy when I'm eating an Italian sub. All right.
Yeah.
I want that. So
I actually think I'm mistaken. I think the first video I published this year was Ranganese because I recorded it last December. And I think I followed it up with Savrana's and then Jersey Mike's. So Jersey Mike's was one of the first videos this year, but Ranganese was actually the first. And actually, so a little Easter egg, one of the things I shared in that video is, in this area, I've been to all the Italian places, but never Ranganese until that visit.
Sure.
Ranganese is actually the closest thing to my dad's deli as I've ever found in this area.
Oh, so, awesome.
For what it's worth. They even have ravioli that we didn't carry those ravioli, but they're from Staten Island, and my aunts and uncles would always make those raviolis. So good place.
Awesome. That's awesome.
So one of the things we talked about earlier, kind of myself and then with Gina, is holiday movies or specials that you have to watch to get you in the spirit. I was wondering if you had any.
Yeah, I have several that get me in the spirit. Garfield's Christmas is one of them. The animated one. I think it might be from the late 80s. I think it's from the late 80s. That is nostalgic for me. Along with A Christmas Story, like your shirt. A Christmas Story is like that's a staple that I have to watch. And honestly, literally just recently, I've grown to enjoy Christmas Vacation. It wasn't one that was a special one that I wanted to watch. And it always came down to, for years, I think I picked like this battle of, I like Christmas Story and those people like Christmas Vacation, and I'm choosing Christmas Story over Christmas Vacation. And now I realize I can like both of them. And I think I got to thank my girlfriend for that, because she's the one who was like, just like Christmas Vacation. What do you not like about this movie? And I'm like, I don't know.
I like both of those. My favorite though is Scrooged with Bill Murray.
Okay.
I'm surprised that's not one of yours, because you're into a lot of that kind of like dark humor kind of.
Just revealed the other day that I've never seen Scrooge. So now your audience is learning this for the first time, and now you're distancing yourself from me a little bit, and I understand.
No, it's fine. I mean, everybody can't see everything, but I'm surprised that you haven't seen that one.
I know it's on my list. That is on my list. Another one that I like to watch is also Jingle All the Way, and I know that that's a bad movie, but I love that movie so much.
All of these movies are bad movies. Yeah. Like they're really nostalgic, and there's not like Scrooge is a good movie because it's literally the Charles Dickens story. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
none of these stories are any like Elf. I was actually criticizing earlier. That movie really isn't a movie. It's just a bunch of skits until you get to the last 20 minutes with a conflict.
Kind of is a bunch of skits. Yeah, it is. I do like Elf though. There's a lot of memorable things from that. Jim Carrey's Grinch too. That movie is a favorite as well. I really like that one. Also, Mickey's Christmas Carol.
That's a good one. I haven't watched it in a long time.
Yeah, it's on Disney Plus. I watched it in the middle of the summer randomly because I was just hankering for a little Mickey's Christmas Carol. I like the way that they do it. I love Ebenezer Scrooge as Scrooge McDuck. I think it's fantastic.
I love when that happened when I was a kid. I remember seeing that. I'm like, oh, this is pretty cool. Because he's Scrooge, right? You know?
Yeah. Yep.
Looks like you have a fan in the chat, BJ.
Oh, yep. That would be Mitra. That would be my girlfriend. And yes, I am adorable.
There you go. And with that, it's actually here. It's a good time for a hot take. So I'll put it up on the screen. You could read it, and then.
Okay. Advertisers shouldn't be allowed to market to kids. I guess it depends on the product.
What do you mean?
Well, I deal with a lot of advertising in my line of work. I would say if it's something that a kid shouldn't be around, then yeah. Kind of like the disclaimer that used to pop up when we would watch Jackass when we were younger.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the kind of thing that we need in front of advertisements sometimes.
So I have a little bit of a different opinion on this. If this were the case, we wouldn't have like G.I. Joe or He-Man. Those shows were literally advertisements.
Oh, think about the nostalgic toy commercials from our youth, like Crossfire and Hungry Hungry Hippos and things like that. Come on. Yeah, we wouldn't have those. Exactly. We wouldn't have Saturday morning cartoons at all.
Right. All those were advertisements for stuff.
The entire thing. Yeah.
What are your favorite holiday traditions? Like other than like stuff that you watch and listen to, like what are the like foods and stuff like that you have to have for the holidays?
So it's always like kind of like a debate in my family about what are we gonna do for like a Christmas dinner and stuff like that. It was like straight down. We're having ham, and that's what we're having, a holiday ham. And I don't like ham. I've never really enjoyed it. So over the last few years, we've kind of changed things up. This year, we decided we're having prime rib. We're gonna go prime rib. My brother is tackling that. I did not want that task. I baked Christmas cookies. Actually, right before I got on here, I finished up baking some Christmas cookies. So that was my task for it. But the staple thing that we always have to have at Christmas is Stewart's eggnog. And it's got to be specifically Stewart's. My mom will not drink it. Yes. My mom will not drink eggnog unless it's Stewart's eggnog. And also, this is so weird and specific to like this area, okay? Like the Northeast.
Yeah.
Do you remember the Friendly's Jubilee rolls?
Yeah.
Okay, so my grandmother always brought a Jubilee roll to Christmas. Like that was like one of the desserts that we would have. And we haven't been able to find it in years. And then I see randomly the other day, like come across Instagram reels that Friendly's now has a Jubilee cake. It's a Jubilee roll, but in ice cream cake form. And there's not really that many Friendly's around here anymore, and they don't sell it in the store. You have to go to a restaurant to purchase this thing. My brother trekked it over at like 5 o'clock rush hour to Hoosick Street in Troy to go to that Friendly's over there to get
and
a
they
Jubilee
had it?
cake. I think so. He didn't give me an update, so I'm assuming no news is good news, but we'll be able to have that Jubilee taste once again this year that we haven't had in a long time. So
you have to snap a picture. I want to see what that is, because I can't picture what the Jubilee roll. Is it the one that was like a half moon that looked like a log?
It looked like a log, yeah, and it was like kind of like just like Neapolitan ice cream. Like there was vanilla, there was chocolate, there was strawberry, and then there was like whipped cream and like red and green sprinkles on the top. Very basic, but like something that I think my grandmother just really enjoyed. So she always wanted to bring that over and everything. Also, port wine cheese, oddly enough, port wine cheese is like a holiday staple. I don't know if that's true for anybody else, but I don't have it any other time of the year except for at holidays.
You know what's funny? So you know the comedian Amy Sedaris?
Yeah.
Back in the 90s when I was in college, in the late 90s, I'm not trying to date myself that much. She used to around the holidays do a thing where she would bake cupcakes and make cheese balls with wine cheese in New York City. I didn't get a chance to try it, but it was one of those like internet stories that like I saw a picture of the stuff that she made. I'm like, that the comedian made that? That's amazing. So here we got my buddy Greg in the chat. Friendly's is hanging in there in Massachusetts, any remaining in the Capital District. So yeah, I think there's the one on Hoosick Street. Yeah. There might be one in Clifton Park.
I think that there is one in Clifton Park still. Yeah, but I mean, dude, Friendly's was like that was like a staple place when I was growing up. We used to go to Friendly's all the time.
Yeah. Us too. Like when my brother moved upstate with us, we used to go every Friday night, and I get the chicken finger platter and then the 5-scoop Reese's Pieces sundae.
Oh, that sounds delicious right now. Yeah,
so good.
I like that.
So good.
You can't go wrong. The Heinz 57 burger. I mean, come on. Friendly's was where it was at. And
I don't think I ever had that.
Fribble? Come on.
You know what killed Friendly's for us, because we lived in Latham.
Yeah.
Red Robin opened, and that kind of stole its thunder a little bit.
Okay.
But all right, ready for another hot take?
I am.
All right.
The youngest child is always the favorite. False. I'm the oldest child, though I do know that I think that is true. As a non-youngest child, I don't know though. I don't know.
I'm an oldest child, and I think in some ways, I think my parents do favor my brother a little bit. And my brother, if he was in the chat, he'd be arguing right now, I'm sure. But so that's how I know he's not here.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah. I wonder how middle children feel about this. They don't know. They're just forgotten anyway. It doesn't matter.
What to you makes the perfect Italian sub? I know when we talked in person, you were saying you like to have gabagool on the sub.
Oh yeah, it's got to have the gabagool.
What other features make a perfect sub for you?
So like, I mean, back in the day, I would have just said it. I just wanted like that I wanted salami on it, right? But I've grown up now. And so I really like when they incorporate mortadella onto it too. Like if I can get an Italian sub and they've got mortadella on it, like that is such a good flavor to have on there. And I know like you had told me before that like the traditional, like an Italian mixed sub is like what? It's like salami, ham, and then something else, right? Like
yeah. So that downstate in New Jersey, the base Italian sub is ham, salami, provolone, lettuce, tomato, onion, oil, and vinegar.
Yeah.
And then in my dad's store, we used to make what they had on the menu as special combination Italian sub, which was ham, salami, provolone, but it also added mortadella and my dad's homemade gabagool and a roasted hot pepper and eggplant spread.
Oh, that sounds awesome. That sounds
delicious. It was so good. It was so good. I actually I early on the channel here, I made a recipe in the style of that, and I got to make that again. It was so good.
I think, you know what, thinking about it, I think for me, the thing that sets a lot of Italian subs apart is it's got to be like a thin sliced onion on there too. I also want the lettuce really shredded. I don't want like a leaf of romaine lettuce on there. It just doesn't have the same appeal to me to it. I want the veggies sliced ultra thin. I want them done on the same machine that you cut the meat on, and I want everything nice. I want it to meld together and be delicious.
That was my biggest criticism with the Ranganese sub, is that they used that one slice of romaine lettuce across it. And it's like, all right, it's fine, but it's not like having that shredded lettuce to bite through.
That is my biggest gripe with them, is I love their subs. I love the way that they make them. I love the feel of that store and everything, but it's that damn piece of lettuce that just makes me not give it a 10. It's just, I'm sorry. So, oh, yes. So, all right. So, Mitra just put in the chat, and I think I told you this before too, Jerry. Paulie's in Boston is like the greatest Italian sub that I've ever had in my life.
Yep.
And
it's in my notes. If I'm ever in that area, I'm going to stop there.
I knew I told you about that. That we actually specifically drove out of the way. We were going to Salem, Massachusetts this past summer. It was Mitra, myself, and her son. And she said to me, she goes, "You think that we could like make a pit stop in the north end of Boston and go to that Paulie's place and get that sub?" And I was like, "Yeah, we can do that." It was awesome. We got out, we found parking, we jumped out, we walked into the north end, we went to that sub shop, we got back in the car, ate them in the car, and then just continued on to Salem. That was what we did.
I mean, that's the best kind of thing, where you could just like, you know, like a little detour like that. Like the other day, like I've been getting into, you ever go to 7 Brew on Central Avenue, the new coffee place?
No, I haven't been there yet.
It's this like drive-through coffee place. They make all these different kind of like coffee drinks, and it's like you would think it's nothing special, but to me, like all the different flavor combinations, they have sugar-free syrups, which I'm big on. So like the other day we were going to see the holiday lights at the Altamont Fairgrounds, and I'm like, "Ooh, is there any way we can make it so that 7 Brew is on the way?" And it's like, even if we drive 10 minutes out of the way, like what's the big deal? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
you're going to get there at some point. Yeah.
Especially like, you know, but the Boston Salem area is like what, 2.5, 3 hours away from us here. You're already not home.
Yeah, that was the justification that we had for it. We're like, when else are we going to be close enough that we can actually just go in and go to this place and get that sandwich that we just randomly got one day while we were walking around Boston because we were starving. We just walked into this place, and it blew us away, and it blew us away a second time too. So consistency is the key here.
Yeah. So that was, you told me about that the second time we recorded for the radio. So just to give everybody a little bit of inside baseball here, I actually posted our conversation from the first time we recorded for the radio, which actually didn't make it onto the radio due to a technical glitch.
Yeah, that was insane. I have never come across that before. So Jerry came in, recorded an entire hour's worth of radio breaks with me, because the way it works is I'm on classic rock radio, so we do short breaks in between the songs. Jerry came in, recorded the entire thing with me. I recorded it into our system and everything, and then once it went to air, it like somehow just deleted the audio out of it as it was playing, and there was just nothing but dead space that it was trying to play in between the songs. And I was like, oh my God, like what the hell is going on here? So I had to call Jerry back, and then you eventually ended up coming back in. You came in, and I think it was either late August or September or something. And the first time you were in was in June. But we ended up making that happen. We did make that happen eventually.
But the funny part about it is, I'm sure you probably have the drops from the second show saved, but I had filmed the entire show of us from the first time, and I cut it together and posted it to the channel. So that lost interview is actually preserved here on the channel if you want.
Perfect.
Dig for
it. Has to live somewhere.
So, kind of cool. I want to thank you for having me on that. That was one of the things that, like, early on when I was unemployed. So like, I know you had posted, you'd messaged me and was like, well, if you want to come on the radio, like if you're not doing anything. And it was one of those things that gave me something to do. I really appreciate that.
Oh yeah, you're welcome, man. It was a lot of fun having you on. Plus I could talk about like delicious food all day long. You and your do you work near Hot Dog Charlie's now? You son of a bee.
Dude, you have no idea. So like literally it's about a half a mile up the hill in Rensselaer where I work from Hot Dog Charlie's, and every day I drive past it, I'm like, is today the day I'm going to stop? Is today the day I'm going to stop? And today was the day I stopped.
You are like, first of all, you're not only just by Hot Dog Charlie's, you're also like a hop, skip, and a jump away from Famous Lunch too. So you could do both of them. A hot dog journey for you, I think, sounds pretty good.
Yeah. So I've done individual videos of Gus's, Hot Dog Charlie's, Famous Lunch, and I've also done them in the same day in the same video.
Yeah.
So I'm good on that, but yeah, I love being that close to all that stuff. Yeah. The problem with work now though is like it's kind of like a little bit of a compound. We have a parking garage, and I have like a 15-minute walk to my building. So like getting out during the day is a little tougher. Okay. But we have Mazzone catering in our building, so.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I noticed today that they get their meat from Pat LaFrida.
Okay.
So it's like the perks are pretty good. Burger and fries was like $8. So
okay.
I can't complain about not getting out.
Right. Yeah, that's awesome though. So, yeah. If it would be like man, I would be taking 2 steps back. If I worked next to Hot Dog Charlie's, I would be there. I don't want to say every day, but I'd be there quite frequently. 100%. Yeah. I wouldn't be able to say no to that.
I have to pace myself. So like I like to go a couple times a year for that style of food. And like now, especially I'm kind of overcoming some health issues. So this was definitely a treat, as the rest of the holidays are, but after the holidays, got to get back into it. I just noticed behind you, you have the Kramer. I literally have the Kramer literally right there. So I have the same thing up.
And the picture next to it is the Sopranos cast too. So,
who from the cast?
It's that famous picture of them all standing outside of Satriale's. It's like, I don't know where Mitra found it at the thrift store of all places, and was like, this needs to go up. And there it is. That's it. Because the Sopranos, that's like my favorite show.
You can't see it here, but right up here on the wall, I have the Sopranos. It's like it's the one where they're at the funeral, Jackie Jr.'s funeral.
Oh,
it's like one of those what do you call it? Like pencil drawings that you get in the mall.
Yeah. Yes.
Remember?
Yes.
Those. It's that scene.
I want
for a hot take.
I want a pencil drawing of that, but I want it of the Pine Barrens. Okay, let's see this one. Jasmine is the hottest Disney princess. I mean, so here's my gripe here's my gripe with the Disney princess stuff, Jerry, is that most of them are underage, and I have a hard time saying that any of them are hot. Now, when I was in like high school and stuff, I definitely was like, heck yeah, like Ariel is like so hot and stuff like that. But nowadays, I'm like, I don't think I don't think I can say that. I just feel it's kind of gross. So I'm gonna not say anything.
Yeah, I agree. I think a lot of these they're in that kind of vein where like it's a gray area at a certain point, but to me that's black and white.
Yeah.
All right, next one.
They're all underage. 100%. Black coffee is the best coffee. It's what I drink every day. Black coffee.
You don't put anything in it?
Occasionally, I will do some sort of zero sugar creamer or something like that. And if I do want a little sweetness, I'll add some Splenda to it. But no, black coffee all day, every day, baby. You know, people do pre-workout before they go to the gym. I just drink black coffee before I go to the gym. That does the job. It gets it done.
You know, the pre-workout thing is more of like a lately designer kind of thing. Like that definitely wasn't a thing 25 years ago. Like black coffee is what a hardcore bodybuilder would be drinking.
Yeah, that's right. And that's what I am.
we got to get together and work out at some point. I'm getting back into it next year. Definitely gonna.
Heck yeah, man! Come on over. I go to Best Fitness 5 days a week. Come on over. We'll lift some weights and stuff. It'll be fun.
Awesome. I know a couple of the coaches at the Schenectady one. So
All right, cool.
All right, next one.
Flirting is cheating. Yeah, I would say so. Yeah, especially the nature of it and everything. Yeah, 100%.
Where's the line cross on flirting?
I think if it gets inappropriate in nature, like if it's anything more than like I don't even know, like a friend, like I gotta say, like if it stays like friendly, but if it crosses that line of like being like an inappropriate like conversation or innuendo or something like that. Also given like where you are, like if you're in a room like by yourself with like another person or something like that, probably like that's you shouldn't. You should just not do that.
Absolutely agree. I'm gonna pull one of my Christmas questions here for you.
All right.
If you and I think that we'll call it there. If you could travel anywhere for the holidays, where would you go?
If I could travel anywhere for the holidays, where would I go? Man, I mean, right now I would go to San Antonio, Texas, because that's where my girlfriend is currently. So I would go to San Antonio, Texas. But if I could go like to like some magical make-believe place, then I'd like to celebrate Christmas on the Starship Enterprise. I mean, that's what I would like to do.
You know what's funny? So you say that, and one year, so my parents were big on doing New Year's Day brunch, and one year they were like, "Oh, there's this brunch up in." So we were in Orange County, but the brunch was like out in Sullivan County, and I don't know if you're familiar with Sullivan County at all.
Not too much, no.
Okay, so Monticello is Sullivan County, and then there's Liberty is further west, and this is all going kind of diagonal toward Binghamton. But like the next town over, and I don't remember what it was called, but there we ended up going to this brunch, and it was all Star Trek theme.
Oh,
and it was so like it was one of those things, and I think it's because there's like a Star Trek museum there or something like that. Like the whole town is like big on Star Trek, but we didn't know any of this. So we go there, and they're all dressed up like in Starship Enterprise, like, and they got the little the badges and everything, and we're like, what the hell is going on here? The rooms were like laid out like the bridge and everything. It was insane. And my parents were so mad.
I would have loved it. That would have been my favorite thing.
The funny thing is my dad is into Star Trek, so I don't really know what the big deal was, but like it was ridiculous. But yeah.
Well, if you're not looking for a themed restaurant and you end up at one, that's probably going to be a little bit disappointing.
Yeah, well, but I'm saying my dad likes Star Trek, so I didn't understand what his problem was, but you never know. Yeah. It was just crazy. I'm surprised that you said that. That's funny. Yeah. So you're into Star Trek?
Oh yeah, I love Star Trek. I love Star Trek. I love Star Wars. I love all that sci-fi stuff. I absolutely love it. But Star Trek, especially the Next Generation has a place that's near and dear to my heart. I grew up watching that. It's like one of my favorite things. It's like a comfort show for me to put on Star Trek: The Next Generation.
So I like Star Trek and Star Trek: The Next Generation. I think I'm bigger on the original series just because for me, it's a little bit easier to just put on and passively watch. You know what I mean? Whereas the Next Generation is a little bit more. It was a little bit more of a serious show, I think.
It was a little bit more serious, and it was a little bit more episodic, where like one would flow into the next and stuff like that. So yeah, the older one was more designed as like a episode of the week type thing, you know.
Yeah, I never really was able to get into it much past that, but I've seen a lot of episodes of Voyager, Deep Space Nine here and there, also a little bit, but definitely nothing after that.
You know, I was a huge Voyager hater for a long time. And then during the COVID pandemic, I sat down and actually like watched the series start to finish. And it is one of my absolute favorite Star Trek series now. I love it.
Yeah,
that is very
a masterpiece. Yeah.
Yeah,
definitely.
Absolutely. So good. And some of those characters are now some of my favorite characters. So,
yeah. Well, BJ, thanks so much for joining us here tonight. I appreciate you coming on, taking the time.
Yeah, you're very welcome, man. Thanks for having me. This was a lot of fun.
Cool. Wish you a happy holiday. Yeah, thanks a lot.
Have a good holiday, Jerry.
Take care. All right, guys. With that, I will wish you guys a happy holiday. Thank you so much for joining. I really appreciate everybody hanging out. I mean, some of you were here the whole time. Greg, Merry Christmas to you. I see that you got done watching season 9, episode 10. Is that the Festivus episode? Because I watched that this morning before I went to work, had to do it. Because it is Festivus, guys. It's the 23rd. But with that, I have 3 live streams planned for this week. I hope you come back for that. But before then, I hope you enjoy your time with your family. I hope you get a chance to relax. And if you have to work, I hope it passes quickly for you and you get some free time and you get to enjoy a little bit of the holiday spirit. So yeah, thanks so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one.